Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so honored that you guys are watching me and go along with me on my journey to let you guys know some of my story. And also, you know what, y'all, before we get into this video right away, let me tell y'all something. Go and hit that red subscribe button. You know what? It don't cost $1. It don't cost $2. It's free. It costs a second of your life. And hit the notification bell so you'll be uploaded every time Rachel, upload a video. You know what? It's that simple. Just hit the bell real quick. Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm going to count. Let me see. I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, are y'all done? Y'all should be done now. Come on. Hit that subscribe button because I got a lot of more stuff coming for y'all. But anyway, okay. As you can tell by the title of the video, what I'm going to talk about in this video, it's going to be a very interesting video. It's just something that I've been wanting to talk about for years, but was never able to because I really didn't have a platform. But anyway, okay, you know what? I be feeling like I'm so close up to the camera, but you know what? I do that because I don't have a microphone right now, and I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me, I'm wanting to try to talk like, oh, hey, can y'all? No, I want to get right up here, up close and personal with y'all so I can hear y'all and y'all can hear me. So we'll be on one page, one accord, all that stuff, okay? And like I be doing in all my videos, look, y'all, I got a snack. And I have another snack, because I'm a junk food addict, I'd rather eat junk food than food. That's how it is. But anyway, we're going to get right into this video. Okay. So, like I said, y'all subscribe. Please support my channel. You know what? Like the video, hit the notification bell so y'all will be notified whenever I come on. So, we're going to jump right into this story. So, okay. This all happened. It all started when I was 13 years old. I'll never forget. I was in, let me see how I want to put this. Yeah, we was in Bible study. And, I was 13 at the time. I got kind of bored. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm finna go get on the phone. So I went to the back of the church. I went to call one of my homeboys. I'm just chopping it up, talking on the phone, whatever. And, we had a phone in the back. And then the pastor had a phone in his office also. So I guess he picked the phone up to use it. And he heard me talking on the phone. So after church, he go get my auntie and was like, oh, she was on the phone talking to a boy and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So basically, he told on me. He snitched me out. Okay, whatever. So we were so I think it was that Sunday after. It had to be a couple weeks or something. I don't know when it was, but it was soon after that. We was in Sunday school, and my aunt, she was a minister in the church. She was like, hey, Rachel, go in Bishop's office and get changed for Sunday school. I said, okay, no problem. So I go in his office, and it's like, I knock on the door. He was like, come in. So I go in there, and he was just like, oh. I said, my auntie need change. He was like, oh, okay. And he was like, oh, can I give you a hug? And I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? People give people hugs all the time in church. So I'm not thinking anything of it. So I will never forget when he gave me a hug. When somebody give you a hug or something and you can feel their chest like boom, 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 beating out of their chest socket. That's how he was. His chest was beating so hard. I still remember that feeling till my day. It's like his chest was about to bust out of his shirt. And so then, you know what? After that, he gave me the change. I went back out to my Sunday school class. And then after church, when he told my auntie that he was going to be talking to me in his office about, about men and how men are and all this stuff. And so during this time, I remember him. I'll never forget. One Sunday, he preached his sermon. He was just like, it was before all this stuff started happening with me. I remember he was like, you know what? I don't understand all these older men that go out and get these sports cars to try to lure these young girls in and get with these young girls and all that stuff. So at that point, I'm just like, wow, when he gave me the hug and I knew the kind of hug he gave me, that it wasn't normal, my brain automatically went back to that sermon that he had preached. And so then a couple months later, you know what? He went to go get himself a sports car. It was a red Corvette. I will never forget. And so then he slowly started to, every time we would be in church and he would be in his office, he would get up. And when I tell you guys, our church was so small, it probably had maybe like 30, 40 members or less. And it was so small to whenever you opened the back door, the door and all the doors, everybody turned into church to look. So he would come every time we would be in church. He would come he would come out of his office and just do like this and tell me to come here. So I would have to go in his office and sit there while he did his paperwork and while he wrote his sermons and did all that stuff all the time. And you know what? Nobody never questioned anything. That was the crazy part about it. Well, you know what? Actually, one time when I was in his office, it was one of the members that just burst in his office and she was like, "What's going on in here?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just talking to her." And so, you know, after that, shortly after that, I had went back out into the church service. And then every time he would call me in his office, and then that's when little stuff would start happening. He would start touching me and doing little stuff in the office. And, you know, at that time, around that time, I was still living with my evil aunt, you know. I was living with my evil aunt that was doing all the crazy stuff that was really abusive. And, you know, I felt like I couldn't say anything because when you go to a church and you have a pastor, everybody looks up to them. You know what? Everybody looks up to them. And I felt like, you know what, it would have been my word against his. So I'm just like, you know what, I kept quiet for a little while. I kept quiet. And the reason I did that is because, you know what, like I said, I was already being abused at home. And then whenever CPS would get the reports, they would write the reports up and they would give it to my evil aunt. And so it's just like at that point, nobody already believes you. Everybody think you're lying. The kids are lying about getting abused. I'm like, you know what, these people don't believe you anyway. You know what, he's a pastor. They're going to think I'm lying. So time started to go on. And so my aunt noticed that he kind of had taken a liking to me, and she didn't think that, you know what, I was 13, and she didn't think in her head that this man intentions was somewhere else. So she would get comfortable with asking him, "Hey, I need you to come and pick the girls up for church because I'm not going to be able to make it," or, "Hey, it's something at my house that needs to be fixed," and he would always be right there. I can remember it would be times where he would come and pick us up for church. And we had this big blue church van. Sometimes I think if there was another adult with us, sometimes I got to sit, before all this stuff happened, I would get to sit in the back with the rest of the kids. But once he started doing this stuff to me, I had to sit right in the front seat with him all the time while the other kids was in the back of the church van playing and having fun and all that stuff. I mean, it was just the stupidest, weirdest thing. Also, I remember it was a time, you know, his oldest daughter, she used to do the girls in the hair church. Used to do the girls' hair that went to the church. So I remember one time, my aunt had dropped me off over there to get my hair done. And so he kept coming back and forth in the kitchen. And so as soon as, he noticed that she was almost done, he was telling me, he was like, "Oh, I'll take you home." And I'm thinking in my head, no. I said, "I already called my aunt to come and get me." And a look he gave me, if looks can kill, y'all, if looks can kill, because I was terrified of this man. You guys don't understand. I remember there were times he would tell me, "Hey, you need to be outside of your school at this time. You need to be outside of your school at this time. I'm coming to pick you up." He used to say, "Well, we can run around the house naked and we can have on cowboy hats and all this kind of stuff." And I'm just like, this man has really lost his marbles. So I would be in school that whole day nervous and so scared. I'm like, this man might go to the office, make up something to get me out of class. But I never did go outside that whole day when he would, I was so nervous and so scared. So then, and during this time, we had a house phone at the house, and I would get out of school, you know, he would call the house and he would disguise his voice, and whoever picked up would ask to speak to me. So I would get on the phone. He was like, "Oh, why weren't you outside today?" And I would make up some excuse and some lie why I did not go outside. I was terrified of him. It got to the point where my aunt that was the minister in the church, because he would just come by me, just give me little money and all that stuff. This man would write me long love letters and like these little, he would go and literally get me these little crystal little bird things. He would always get me those things, and I kept them in my locker at school. So it got to the point where, you know what, I was just like, you know what, I'm terrified of this man. He's coming. I would be outside of my house, and all of a sudden I would see that red car coming around the corner, and he's like, "Come here." I'm like, man. So like I said, it got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired of this man. I'm scared of him. So my aunt that was the minister in the church, I went and told her. I said, "Hey, he will not leave me alone. He's showing up where I'm at." You know, I just told her everything. So she confronted him. And I'll never forget when she confronted him. And, you know, mind you, I was still going to this church. Was I or was I not? Yep, I was still going to this church. She confronted him. Of course, he denied it. And you know what? after that, nobody, she didn't call the cops, didn't do anything. And it was like, after that, it was just like he would pop up at my house acting like he was fixing something, trying to get me to come with him. But let me tell you guys, I would never, ever, I made up every excuse to get away from this man because I didn't want to be alone with him by myself. That's just how scared I was of him. And you know, back then, like going to that kind of church, we had to wear all dresses. We got to wear all dresses, no makeup and stuff. And back then, I was 13, you know, I always had a shape, you know. And so, yeah, it was, you guys, when you are going through some stuff like that, and everybody looks up to the pastor, everybody thinks the best of the pastor, it's just like one of those things where, okay, like if I say something, they're going to think I'm lying, you know what, I'm already being mistreated, and all this stuff is happening to me at home. You know what, nobody's going to do anything. And like when I told my aunt, nothing was done about it. Nothing was done about it. So eventually it got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I ended up, when I was 13, and I think, yep. So what ended up happening, something happened and the church ended up closing down or whatever. And you know what, he still tried to get in contact with me and all that stuff. But I just I was so scared of him. I ended up changing I didn't have a phone at the time. I ended up just kind of ignoring him, and thank God the church closed down, because if the church wouldn't have closed down, he would have continued to just pop up where I was and all of that stuff. He would come and get me in church and act like he was freaking, what's that word? He would act like he was counseling me, but he was back there doing his little nasty freaking, oh my gosh. He would try to get me to, we'd be back there in his office, and he would try to get me to go out there in a church van with him. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what? We're at church. No, I'm not doing that. So yeah, that was one of the experiences that I would never, ever forget. And you know what? My whole process is, okay, if you have all these adults in the church and the grown man pastor is coming in the church from his office doing like this, telling her to come here every church service, you're not going to get up and say anything or think anything, you know? It was crazy to me. It was so weird. It was so weird. So, and I'm going to go ahead and say this part too. So what ended up happening, like I said, the church closed down and all that stuff. So once I grew up some, I got on my own. By this time, because like I said, I had ignored him. So I'll never forget. And like when you go through something like that, it's traumatizing. It's so traumatizing. So I had 3 kids, and I was living with, I think, my kid's dad at the time. And so what I ended up moving out of my kid's dad's house. And you know what? This man, the pastor, he's had the same phone number for years. And I'm thinking in my head, you know what? You used and you abused me when I was younger. So therefore, I'm going to do the same thing to you. So I called him. I was like, hey, I need help. You know, I'm going through this. I don't have anywhere to go. And you know what? Every time he was right there, he would pay for my hotel rooms. He would bring me food and all of that stuff. And then, you know what? During this time, he was steady trying to, you know, talk to me and try to take me out of town and do all this stuff. But I'm just like, no, I couldn't get past the fact that, dude, you did this to me when I was 13, and you were, and you still are, have the title of a pastor. I'm not going to do that, you know. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. I'm like, you used and abused me, so therefore I'm going to use you. But I did, you know what? I told him when all of that was over, and he was steady trying to talk to me, and I was not having it. And I'm like, nope, you know. I mean, he was steady trying to come to where I was and all of that stuff. But I did. I just went ahead and told him. I was like, you know what? This is not me. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for using you, but this is what you did to me when I was a child. So you know what? You reap what you sow. You know, you reap what you sow. And so then, to make a long story short, I remember, like I said, the last time I seen him was at my cousin's funeral. And so, and I walked in late, and I'll never forget, I was sitting on a pew, however you say it. I don't know how to say that word. I was sitting behind, like 2 rows behind him, and it's like he was looking for me because he knew I was going to be there. So soon as he seen me coming, he just kept looking back, smiling. And so then after the funeral was over, I was watching him. I'm like, okay, let me see where he's going. So I seen him leave out the church. And so I stayed in the church, the funeral home, for like a good 15 minutes because I was like, okay, he's gone now. Let me tell y'all something. I go out this door. He's sitting in the car just waiting. Sitting in the car waiting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude. So he called, his daughter was in the car with him, and they called me over there. And I'm just like, he's sitting over there looking, and I'm just like, he's sitting over there looking, and I'm like steady trying to, you know, get me to come. I'm like, no, you know what? No, I already knew it was a setup. Nope, I'm not coming with you. I'm not going nowhere around you. I don't want nothing to do with you. And so then, you know, he was steady talking to me. Well, his daughter was. And then my aunt, that was the minister in the church, came out and was walking over there to the car. And finally, that's when he straightened up and acted like he wasn't doing anything. But, you know, that was the last time I seen him. I think. Yep, it was the last time I seen him. And he was just, oh my goodness. If you guys, and now I understand, like, a lot of people, they're like, you know what, why don't you say something? Why don't you tell? The reason being, you know what, you have to understand. A lot of them are scared that they're not going to be believed, or somebody's going to say they're lying, or nothing's going to be done about it. And you know what? That's a lot of times in the Black community. I'm telling you, it probably happens in other communities too. But I know from my community, it happens a lot. You know, you get told you're a liar. You get told that, oh, you must have liked it and all this stuff. But you got to understand, if you're 13 and this man is in his 40s or 50s, you know what? Whether if it was reciprocated or what, this man is wrong. This man is wrong. He knows. So I don't care what situation it is. The child should never, ever be blamed for something that a nasty, perverted man is thinking in his head, when there's so many grown women out there. But they would prefer to go after the kid or go after the child, you know? Yeah, it was crazy. It sure was, but I did everything I could not to be in the same room with this man, because he has started just giving me like $20 bills here and money here, then trying to pick me up and all that stuff. But no. But I'm telling you, if you are a teenager and you're dealing with that same thing, the best thing to do, like me, I'm older now. And, you know, when you are a teenager, your brain don't think how it thinks when you become an adult. The best thing to do, you know what? If your parent ain't listening, the best thing you can do is, you know what? Tell somebody at your school. Tell a counselor or something. You know what? Get the cops involved if nobody is freaking listening, because that is a traumatic experience for anybody to go through. It is a horrible experience. It sure is. And when in that time, and being so young and vulnerable, and this big old man that has all the, that has all the authority and the power, and everybody worship just about the ground that this man walks on, I'm just thinking, you know what? It's going to be me against them. Nobody's going to believe me, you know? Nobody was going to believe me. So, yeah, that was that. So like I said, you know, always say something, talk. Do not keep it in. If your parents are not listening, you know, go tell the next person that you would think will listen. Always say something. Say something, you know, because it's not going to do any good holding it in and them thinking they can have their way and all that stuff, you know. Yeah. Man, because that was something that I never, ever, ever forgot. Never, ever forgot. And I'll never, ever forget the feeling of being 13 and terrified of this person, you know. Never forget that feeling. It's like you're helpless and everything else. You know, the system has already failed you with being abused and nobody did anything. And now you're going through this situation, you know. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So, yep, like I said, you guys, y'all hear my son, look at him. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. He's probably making noise on purpose. He's like, Mom, hurry up. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'm going to wrap this video up, you guys. But I have a lot of more story times and videos for you guys. You know, like I said, I mean, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and if you want me to do a particular video, just leave it in the comments, and I will greatly appreciate it, and I will do that for you. And like I always say in all my videos, Prince, what are you doing, baby? I'm sorry, y'all. But like I always say in all my videos, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, let everybody know what I'm doing on this channel, because my channel is only going to go up from here. I'm telling y'all, it's only going to go up from here. You know what? I'm blessed. And also, you know what? The last video I did about my childhood abuse story, I got so much love from that video. I had a lot of people texting me, you know what, calling me, you know. I mean, it was really appreciated. And you know what? When you start... Mommy. What, Prince? You scared me. What, baby?
I wish I can come in and watch your video, but I can't.
Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, go back. Go lay down. I'm coming. Oh, he made me lose my train of thought. He sure did. Oh, like I was saying, you know what? I got so much love from that video, you know, and I'm starting to notice, like, when you start to talk about stuff that has happened to you, it's like you start to heal, you start to release, you know. So, and a lot of times too, a lot of people, they think counseling is crazy. You know what? They're wasting their time. No, you're not wasting your time. Counseling, talking about it, is a good source of starting to heal, closing those wounds. You know, you feel relieved and everything else. So yeah, like I always say, okay, and that's the end of this video, because I'm rambling on now. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. I said I gotta go take a bath and get out these clothes. But anyway, oh yeah, and y'all, this outfit right here that I got on, it's just like oh, see my fat stomach, it's a biker outfit. I got it on my Facebook page. But anyway, I get this outfit from Touche Styles. It's called Touche Styles. And I'm telling you, she got a lot of nice, cute, little, comfortable outfits on there. Yep, y'all go and support her. Yeah, go and support her. Like, again, it's Touche, Touche Styles. She got a lot of stuff for everybody, dresses and all of that stuff. Go support her. Yeah, go support her and show her some love. You know what? She got prices on there for if you ain't got no money to, like, she got prices, cheap prices, stuff on sale, all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I enjoyed sitting here talking to you guys. I sure did. I'm already at 22 minutes. At 22 minutes. And on this video, I'm loving this hair. It come from hair. I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but this hair come from Hair Market. And it kind of almost looks similar to my natural hair. You know, it's kind of almost similar to my natural hair. I love it. I love it. It's kind of dry right now because it's late night and all the stuff and dried up out of it. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up again. I know I'll be rambling on. I got ADHD. I'll be going in circles and all of that stuff. Y'all don't mind me. Y'all don't mind me. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm at the end of this video. Like I said, y'all subscribe to my channel, support me, show your girls some love. Show me some love. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Make sure you comment down below. And when you comment down below, guess what, y'all? You're going to become one of my inspirationals. And when you become one of my inspirationals, y'all will inspire me to make more videos for you guys. That's all you got to do. Show your girls some love. Show your girl some love. And like I always say, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good night, and until next time. Bye, y'all.